Hello everyone. Today's poem is Chen Feng, Mumen, a Chen Wind from the Book of Songs. From the two-paragraph structure, we know this poem is about something sad or something bad. Yes, this poem is a condolence poem to the previous, just passed away Lord. Normally, we believe it was Chen Huan, and he has a capable junior brother as a senior officer in the Chen state, whose name was Chen Tuo. Well, somehow, when the state lord Chen Huan getting older, the two brothers had some conflict, and finally, the junior brother Chen Tuo killed the prince, the primary prince, and take over the position, the lord of the Chen state. And very interestingly, the previous, we should say, the previous state lord Chen Huan was dead sometime, and somehow nobody know the details. And well, normally we believe either he was killed by his junior brother, the new state lord, or when he heard all the stories, died in an elder age, horrified, with very astonished whatsoever. So a man with heavy sickness in his elder age very easily died at these circumstances. So finally, the junior brother Chen Tuo take over the position as the state lord of Chen. And this poem is about the funeral of the previous state lord. So it's a very interesting poem. Either, of course, it's a sad, in a very sad mood, but still it's quite interesting because the poet, he expressed his condolence. At the same time, he was blaming, and he was pointing to his previous lord. Why you never listen to my words? If you have ever listened a word from me, the Chen state, as well as you, will never get this sad result. Okay, let's get to the poem. 墓门有棘，斧以斯之。The tomb door has some thorn bushes around it, so you need to use the hatchet to cut it, to remove it. So this is a metaphor actually. So the door normally refers to a family. Of course, the tomb is the family for the dead as well. So this is a sort of the two-way metaphor. First thing first, the door refers to the family, and the tomb refers to the family who's still alive, not the people dead. So when I look at the tomb, the door of your tomb right now, so I'm thinking about when you are still alive, you live in your house, in your palace, who the previous state lord Chen Huan. So I am the poet. I am your senior officer in the Chen state. So I work for you, and I found out that there's some sickness, there's some troubles in your family, your junior brother, right? You should use your hatchet to remove the trouble, to remove the sickness as quick as possible. Okay, the next sentence. 夫也不良，国人知之. So finally, everybody know you won't have a good result. And all the people in the city, they know it. So 国人 today means the citizens, the people in the country. But in the Book of Science time, 国 means the people in the city wall, lived in the city wall, the senior citizens at least. Most of them are noble persons and state officers. So when the state has some of the big political troubles, so the people know it very quickly and they know it well, right? And if we look at the character Liang, the original form in the bronze script, you can see that the line in the horizon in the middle, it represents the earth. A people was standing under a roof, was praying, and on the opposite side, down the earth, there is a person standing under the ground, upside down, and he's also praying, and he also has a roof. So this is the world that the ancient Chinese believed, that the people has two phases. The phase which the first phase, you're still alive, right? You live under the roof and you pray to the God, to your ancestors. And the second phase is the time when the person died, he was buried. So he was under the earth, but his spirit was still there. So he knows everything in the world. Of course, he also knows the things underground. So thus, the people who was still alive and they communicate, they pray, and they talk to each other with the people died under the ground. So that's the sacrifice, that's the pray means for the ancient Chinese. So Liang, with this character, we can see it basically refers many things, but first thing first, it refers the people has a good end, because if you don't have a good end, you won't be buried in the cemetery. So you are in some of the places nowhere, and nobody will pray and make sacrifice to you. So first thing first, the person underground, he has a good result. And the people on the ground, the people who are still alive, he also has a good result, because he prays to his ancestors, and as well, he has an ancestor. So if we said the word like in this poem, 不良, which means either the alive people won't have a good result, or either the people still alive, he don't have an ancestor. Maybe he fled to some of the wild places, right? His ancestors was buried in another place. In that way, he neither has ancestors, right? For the dead people, if his descendants, all his descendants was not left, or he has no descendants, that also means 不良, not good, because nobody will pray or as well as make sacrifice to the dead. So that's also a big pity for the dead people, because his spirits was still alive, right? His spirit knows all the things happened in the world. So let's review the second pair of sentences. 夫也不良，国人知之. So all the people in the city, they know the state lord won't have a good result. Most probably, his descendants won't serve you. He will lose all his descendants, right? That's the most possible things. Okay, let's continue, and finally we can get a conclusion. 知而不已，谁昔然矣. So you know it as well as all the people in the city. You means the previous state lord, the dead state lord. And 谁昔然矣, but who did those things in the past time? So the poet put all the story in a very complicated and very dark way, I should say. So the second pair of sentence, the third pair of sentence said, as a state lord, you know very probably you have a bad result, and you know the reason, right? Your junior brother, right? He is the trouble. But who did that in the past time? So the poet even dare not mention what has happened in the past time. Okay, let's finish go to the second paragraph. 墓门有梅，有鸮萃止. There is a plum tree at the door of your tomb, and there is a owl bird stopped at that tree. So also it's all about metaphor. The plum tree refers something bad, some bad luck, because the sound of the plum tree in Chinese is quite similar to the character hui, which means some bad fortune, some bad luck. And then the poet pointed out what's the bad luck, the owl bird. And the owl was normally believed by the ancient Chinese as a very, very bad, with some bad luck, very crucial bird, very capable bird. So that crucial, capable bird was stopping at your door right now. So he was watching you, and he was waiting a opportunity to do something, right? So that's all about the bird of owl. Okay, second pair of sentence. 夫也不良，歌以讯之. So, my lord, it looks like you won't have a good result, so I sing a song to you to inform all the things happening. Maybe you have a bad luck, and there's a owl bird was watching you stop at the door of your palace, right? 歌以讯之. So I sing a song to tell you all the things happened. Okay, the third pair of sentence. 讯予不顾，颠倒思予. So you heard my song, but you just ignored all my informations, all my messages. And at this very moment, you lie in the tomb you are upside down. 颠倒 means upside down. So it actually, when we refer the character Liang, you know, it means he's a dead person in the tomb, right? So now you are a dead person, and now maybe you will think about me, right? Why think about the poet? Because the poet believed the passed away state lord, the dead lord, should be grateful. If he had listened to the poet, all these bad things, all these murders, all this 不良, not good, with no sacrifice, will never happen, right? Because, just one more thing, because the Chen Tuo, the new lord, has killed the son of the previous lord, right? Which means the previous lord lost his son, lost his descendants, and most importantly, his family lost this state. So all the sacrifice made by this state, by the people of Chen state, will never go to the previous lord. All those sacrifice will go to the new state lord family, right? So that means 不良, the dead lord will not have sacrifice, or he will have much less and much less sacrifice. Well, in the real history, 2 years later, the new state lord Chen Tuo, he was murdered as well, and the position of the Chen state lord was taken back by one of the sons of Chen Huangong. So which means the state lord Chen Huangong, he is good because someone, his son, will continue make sacrifice, will pray to him, and he will enjoy the sacrifice from all the Chen state, right? So he will enjoy the sacrifice as equal as before. Okay, that's the poem, and that's the history. Bye bye.